Imagine you're in a plane flying over the Andes. You notice that the wings of the aircraft are getting dangerously close to the snowy peaks. And then, in an instant, everything changes.
From Wondery, Against the Odds, Plane Crash in the Andes is an all-new season that looks at the unbelievable survival story of a terrifying plane crash and the passengers' grueling fight to stay alive.
The plane, which carried a rugby team from Uruguay and their fans, crashed in the high Andes. The 32 survivors must battle sub-zero temperatures and razor-thin air while they wait for rescuers to arrive.
But then, as days pass, they realize no rescue is coming. They're on their own in this frigid and desolate landscape.
How will they keep themselves alive without food, water, or warm clothing, and with no means of contacting the outside world?
This season of Against the Odds, Plane Crash in the Andes is the unbelievable story of their unlikely survival.
Listen to Against the Odds on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or you can listen ad-free by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app. Wondery, feel the story.
High upon a hill lived an older woman whose power and influence terrified those around her. Anyone who dared cross her would find themselves burdened with bad fortune. Was she truly an all-powerful witch, or were the townspeople merely reaping what they sowed? This week's episode is Hannah Cranna, the Wicked Witch of Monroe County.
A bump in the night, your heart fills with dread. Probably a murderer who wants you dead. It could be a ghost, a demon, or worse. Perhaps you're the victim of a witch's curse. It's hopeless, you're doomed. You'd call a priest if you could. You'd rather just listen to who? Sinisterhood.
You think it's Monroe? You think it's Monroe? How many DMs are we going to get?
Monroe County. I imagine in Connecticut, they probably don't say it that way.
I have
Leghorn.
been in my head saying Monroe County.
I'm sure it's Monroe. Monroe.
Like Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. She's so beautiful. She's my favorite.
Marilyn Monroe.
Good
like
old
a
Marilyn
candle in the
Monroe.
wind. Gone too soon was good old Marilyn Monroe.
I was, no spoilers, but watching some footage for one of our future live shows today. And one of the main people he's like, I don't know what's going on here. So
Foghorn Leghorn?
I say it again. Yeah, it's Foghorn
Leghorn. one of the best voices of a cartoon character
ever.
Ooh, I know what our episodes are, and I don't even know what that's for.
As soon as we stop recording, I'm going back, and I'm probably not going to sleep tonight. I'm probably going to watch all of the footage that I can, and is
this a live show? You said
for this. Well, I'll even further give you guys a tease. It's for the Salt Lake City live show.
Okay, then I do know what it is. So, I mean, I know what all of them are, but I'm interested.
I like to
it's
wait
a surprise
until
for
Christy
me.
gets on stage. She doesn't know.
Then, I'm very excited about I'm excited for all of them, but I feel like Denver and Salt Lake, I feel like the topics, people are going to be like hyped when we're like, tonight's episode is, because if y'all listen to the last week's Polybius, you got to hear how we do a live show, and it's exactly how we record a regular episode. So backstage from a mic, Heather reads the intro, and so I think when you do the tonight's episode is blah 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 blah, we'll get some hoops and hollers. Yeah, I think it's gonna go over well.
Yeah, both of them, for sure.
Excited.
So, yeah, if you haven't gotten tickets, go wherever you're at, fly to Denver.
Fly to Salt Lake,
Salt Lake.
Both
so
great
excited.
cities. Never been to either. Very stoked for both. My mom keeps asking me if we're going to get an up-close picture of the Grundle. And yes, she calls it the Grundle.
Kathy Wallace.
And I said,
love that we got your mom to say Grundle
so many times. She's texted it. She's said it. She's all about the Grundle. I love it. I hope that we can get some footage of it, some up close, veiny footage.
We got to contact the Denver airport. I think I found an email address. I might reach out. If you know someone at the Denver airport, especially in media relations, just holler at me and Christy because we really want to be able to get a backstage tour.
We'd love a backstage tour. Tommy and Paris are going to be with us. So
Brown Brothers.
It could be a Brown Brothers Sinisterhood crossover backstage tour of the Denver International Airport. I think it's called something else now. I don't know if it's called DIA. Denver.
I think they just changed the letters. So we were calling it one thing and then they changed it, but that's on
like
them. That's
Airport
rude.
International Denver.
International.
The airport of Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very excited and I'm super stoked for Salt Lake. Been binging some Real Housewives of Salt Lake. And yes, I did suggest to Heather that we rent a car so we could maybe find the neighborhoods where they lived.
I want to go to services at Mary's church. They are not doing in-person services due to COVID. I'm very sad, but we can still go see the sign, and I want to go meet Walter.
So bad.
Maitre d' at this restaurant where they had a massive fight, and then he just stands with a stoic face, and everyone's like, Walter with a V.
Walter.
Like, Walter is freaking out, and Walter is not moving. Walter's asleep. He's standing up, fully asleep.
She straight up says, Walter is so upset right now. It just pans to him, and he's just, first of all, he's wearing a mask. You can't even see if he's upset. It's so great. Man, the editing on Real Housewives is clutch. Would I want to be on there? No. But to be a spectator, I love it. I would not want the edit that they would probably give me, though.
Cinematic irony is at its best in Real Housewives editing. Because it's almost like Arrested Development, if you like that type of editing, where they go, they say something and then, she's like, I love all my children the same. And then it's like, earlier that day, I don't care for Job. That happens on Real Housewives constantly. Lisa Rinna's like, I would never say something like that. I would die before I would say something like that. And it would be like 4 days earlier. She's saying the exact same thing she said she wouldn't.
Or it's just a super cut of multiple seasons of her saying that exact same thing.
Oh, all the time.
It's great.
All the time. So, yeah.
It's great. We're not doing Real Housewives topic in Salt Lake.
No.
We will give y'all that much. But but we will be doing a Real Housewives topic soon. Another little teaser, maybe with some friends.
Some new friends. So we got a lot of fun stuff in the mix.
We do,
for
yes.
y'all.
I'm very stoked. Very excited. We know who else was excited.
Oh, yeah.
My hero. Not all heroes wear capes, but this one did, and it was black. And her name is Hannah Cranna, and she is a legend.
Honestly,
Monroe County, Monroe County.
No, it's Monroe. It's Connecticut. It's Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think people go, why are they doing this? Like, why are they covering this? And I don't remember what I was Googling, and it popped up, and I laughed so hard. First of all, Hannah Cranna, come on, what a name. And then when you start to hear facts about her, I was like, hard relate. Both of us.
Yeah.
So it's also spooky October Halloween season, so it's perfect.
We're very into Halloween. We got our 31 Days of Sinisterhood challenge happening on Instagram. If you don't follow us, go check that out. We are suggesting an episode every day with a spooky theme to get you in the mood for what we say is the best time of the year, best holiday. So it's been fun going back through the catalog and picking ones and then coming up with fun little themes for them.
And we also have a Spotify playlist you can follow, and it'll get updated every day with the episode. Thanks to Katie M., our friend of the pod, a fish friend of the pod, was like, "What is there a Spotify playlist?" I'm like, "There is now."
That's a smart idea. Awesome. Yeah. So this week is all about Hannah Cranna. That was not her name. That is the nickname that was given to her by the people of Monroe. And we will find out why. But I just want to preface this with, I consider myself a witch, and I love witches, and I love Hannah.
Agreed. This is all, again, we picked her because she's a hero, truly. They tried to paint her as a villain, but then every single thing that she does that they try to point to is a horrible thing. When you really look at it morally, it's the right thing to do.
Oh, absolutely. Witch or no witch, whether she was a witch, whether she was just a woman in the 1800s, she was always in the right as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm Christy.
I'm Heather.
And let's get into it. Throughout the early and middle 1800s, the small New England village of Stepney in Monroe County, Connecticut, operated in the midst of a celebrated witch known as Hannah Cranna, or Hannah Hovey. Her early life began as a mystery. Not much is known of her childhood, but she eventually married her husband, Captain Joseph Hovey, and together they lived in a house near Cutler's Farm Road, high on top of Craig Hill, overlooking the town. So this would have meant that he was probably significantly older than her, based on the timeline of wars and whatnot. So, she had an older man. She was, I don't know what she looked like. I imagine she looked like a woman of the 1800s.
Oh, yeah. I like to think that she was goth style. I mean,
yes,
we're proud members of the BuzzFeed list of outfits that every goth needs. So
That's
I like
true.
to think she had a pretty good, she's probably wearing stuff off that
She
list.
has the Don't Tell Me to Calm Down racerback tank for sure. Also, Tommy's boss calls Ella goth girl.
Oh. After she seamlessly listed off a bunch of cryptids on our last live stream without pausing, everyone's jaws dropped. We couldn't see them, but I know because my jaw dropped. It was incredible. So wear that proudly.
She took my stuffies of Mothman and New Jersey Devil into our nanny the other day, and Becky goes, "Who are those?" She's like, "These are mommy's stuffies."
At least she knows they're yours.
This is the New Jersey Devil. This is Mothman. And Becky listened, so she's like, this tracks.
So Goth Girl, I think, is a good, I like that. I'd take that moniker any day.
Oh, yeah. Every week Ella asks me, what's the podcast about this week? And this week I told her it's about a witch. And she goes, what did the witch do? And I said, well, she did some things that some people thought were not nice, but that other people thought were fine. She's like, is she alive? And I said, no, she's dead now. And she goes, was she a witch when she was alive? I was like, hell yeah, she was. I didn't say hell yeah, she was to my daughter, but so she is very aware. She is aware of Hannah Cranna. And
I love it.
Yes.
Hannah Cranna lives on in our hearts, really.
Yes, always. By all accounts, Hannah's marriage was not a happy one. According to newspaper reports, her husband was
an inveterate tippler
or a heavy drinker, spending many nights down at the local tavern. With her husband at the pub, Hannah was often alone. Eventually, she was left alone permanently after her husband's death. Initial reports stated Captain Hovey accidentally fell off the cliff near their home, despite being familiar with the area. Other townsfolk said she pushed him off the cliff as he struggled and fought against her. But the explanation that stuck was that Hannah had bewitched him, using her powers to control his mind so that he walked to the cliff in a daze and threw himself over the edge.
Yeah, there was even people who alleged that they were witnesses and saw her fighting with him. But can we believe them? We don't know. I feel like this town has a grudge.
Well, fighting with someone does not mean that you then A, threw them off a ledge, B, bewitched them and caused them to fall to their own death. You can just fight, and a fight is a fight.
That's true. It could just be over and done with. It doesn't end in bewitching.
What did we say in the Polybius episode? History isn't what really happened. It's what people wrote about what happened.
Bam.
Here you
Mic
go.
drop.
Yes. Rumors began to swirl in the small village. Hannah Hovey was a witch. Never before accused of being a witch until her husband's death, the townspeople now began calling her Hannah Cranna instead of Hannah Hovey. While it is unclear why her neighbors chose the word Cranna, apart from it rhyming, Ray Bandisi, author of Speaking Ill of the Dead, Jerks in Connecticut History, suggests that the Scottish surname, Cranna, meaning rocky or lofty place, referred to the large rock on her property that she allegedly stood upon while gazing down at the town below. This was no ordinary rock, for it bore a devilish mark. An imprint in the stone looked just like a cloven footprint, according to Bandisi's book. It was here Hannah would allegedly hold consultations with the devil. Townspeople pointed to the visible imprints of a woman's feet on the ground, turned to face imprints of cloven hooves as proof of her dalliance with Satan.
There's just no better place to live if you're a powerful, all-powerful woman that everyone calls a witch than a crag above the town that you can scornfully stare at them
Yes.
from above while your cloak whips behind you in the wind.
Especially if you've got a devil rock in your front yard with hoof prints in it. Absolutely. I mean, if she wasn't a witch, someone was the universe was telling her she needed to be one.
And I mean, when they're going to buy the house, that's got to be a feature that they offer when they tell they're like, high up on the hill, so you can stare down scornfully at others. And if you would like to have a dalliance with Satan, we have the pre-imprinted hoof marks where he can stand and you can face the other direction.
She's like, what's the square footage again? What you said it was 2.5 baths? I'll take it. Yeah.
Done and done.
Absolutely. As the allegations of witchcraft spread, Hannah was nowhere to be seen. Centuries earlier, those accused of witchcraft were often publicly ridiculed, tortured, and forced to stand trial for their alleged dark practices. During the Salem witch trials of 1692 and 1693, more than 200 people were accused of witchcraft. Of those, 30 were convicted and 19 were executed by hanging. Luckily for Hannah, following the Salem witch trials, Puritans became a bit more sensible. They began to view the trials as a mortifying example of
government run amok and an embarrassment,
according to the New England Historical Society. In fact, the NEHS reports that after the executions of the Salem witch trials, no one was ever
indicted, convicted, or executed for witchcraft
ever again.
So they just had to shut it down.
Yeah. I mean, that was not a good look. No, and I would love to do a deep dive on the Salem witch trials. Also, bucket list, Halloween, Salem.
Next 2022, we're doing it.
Let's do it. You heard it here, folks. If you're listening to us around Halloween in 2022,
send us an email.
Hopefully we went.
You're going to send an email and you get an auto reply that says, we cannot respond right now. We are in Salem for Halloween.
Even if it's 3 years from now, we're going to keep that auto reply up. There was one that we did. Was it Mothman?
Oh yeah. We get DMs about that one because we recorded it in like late 2018, early 2019, late 2018, early 2019.
And on some point we talk about being in the future or something.
Yeah. And we're like, if you're listening to this in like October of 2020, just like tell us if everything's going to be okay. And everyone's like, nothing's okay.
No, you guys sound so hopeful and naive. Nothing's okay.
The same with like the early 2020 episodes. We're like, later this year, we're going to travel the world. And everyone's like,
we're headlining Dallas Comedy Festival.
Nope, canceled. Everything's canceled.
Everything, burn it all. Yep.
Shut it down. So, well, I mean, at least they learned their lesson here with the Salem witch trials that they didn't want to be. They're like, we don't want to be known as the people who torture and execute witches. We want to be known as the people who maybe used to do that, but don't anymore.
Yes. And after centuries, perhaps people will forget. I'm here to tell you now, in 2021, we have not. We are still talking about it.
They were like, surely, if in 1693, if we never, after that date, we never execute another witch, people won't talk about this. We'll be fine.
Yeah, totally.
Fine. Joke's on you. Whoops. Some mistakes will follow you. Sinisterhood will be right back. In case you need a refresher, here is why Olive and June is freaking amazing.
Olive and June nail polishes last 7+ days and do not chip.
With Olive and June's Mani system, you can achieve beautiful, salon-perfect nails at an affordable price.
Olive and June's Mani system is the ultimate secret behind salon-perfect nails at home. All in one. No guessing. No messy nails. No salon price tag.
My nails have literally never looked so good, and I did them myself. Very proud of myself. Plus, they offer these adorable nail stickers that I am also obsessed with.
The Mani system is so easy, and it comes with the Poppy, our favorite part of it, a patented brush handle that makes it so easy to paint with both of your hands. We're both right-handed, so, using that left hand to paint the right hand, it can get tricky. The Poppy, game changer. Legit game changer, you guys.
And also, I was kind enough to share my Olive and June nail polish with my mom, who is... I hesitate to say this, but she's like a nail polish aficionado. She probably has 70 bottles of nail polish. I'm not kidding. And I went to visit her recently, and she stuck her hand out, and one of the bottles I gave her, she's like, look at this. Look, I painted this last week. It looks amazing. And it did. It looked so good. Both of her hands. Because she said she doesn't need the Poppy. I told her that I could get her a Poppy because I kept it for myself. And she said, I know what I'm doing, because she's a nail polish expert. So she loves this Olive and June color, and it lasts forever. It's great.
It's so good. Yes.
Getting beautiful salon perfect nails at home is now a dream come true with Olive and June.
Your new nail life is here. Visit oliveandjune.com/creepy and use code creepy for 20% off your first Manny system.
This is an exclusive offer you can only get here with us. That's oliveandjune.com/creepy. Code creepy for 20% off your first Manny system. oliveandjune.com/creepy. Code creepy. Gaps in the diet should not be ignored. Over 97% of women aged 19 to 50 are not getting enough vitamin D from their diet, and 95% are not getting their daily recommended value of omega-3s.
Ritual's Essential for Women 18 Plus multivitamin was formulated by exhaustive research to help fill nutrient gaps in the diets of women ages 18 plus.
It's formulated with nutrients to help support brain health, bone health, blood health, and provide antioxidant support.
But Ritual didn't stop there. They invested in a gold standard university-led clinical trial to prove the impact of Essential for Women 18 Plus multivitamin. The results? Essential for Women 18 Plus was shown to increase vitamin D levels by 43% and omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in just 12 weeks.
I was told after some recent blood tests that I was low in vitamin D, and I was discussing it with a friend of mine who works in the medical profession, and she said, yeah, everybody's low on vitamin D because nobody goes outside anymore.
Yep.
So I love that I'm taking my vitamin D or taking my Ritual vitamins because I know next time I go to the doctor, they're going to be like, good job, Heather.
Yes.
Your vitamin D's up, and I haven't been outside.
Yes.
So, in your face, son.
They also offer vitamins for kids and for men. And Tommy and Ella, I got us all on the vitamin train now. Ella loves the citrus berry flavor. They're gummies, so you know how we all love our gummies. But even ours are a nice minty flavor.
It's so nice.
It doesn't have that like herbal weird vitamin flavor that a lot of vitamins that I cannot stand. These are very nice, and they're capsules. They're not like hard.
Chunky.
Yeah.
Chunkies. Ritual is committed to third-party testing from USP and the Non-GMO Project, traceable and vegan-friendly ingredients, and always clear communication. No shady stuff.
Right now, Ritual is offering our listeners 10% off your first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/creepy and turn healthy habits into a ritual. That's 10% off at ritual.com/creepy.
Everyone needs an escape, but those can be hard to come by right now. Enter Dipsy. Let yourself get lost in a world where good things happen and where your pleasure is the only priority.
Dipsy is an audio app full of short, sexy stories designed to turn you on.
Each Dipsy audio story features characters that feel like real people in immersive scenarios, so you feel like you're right there.
Listen to stories about hooking up with your hometown crush you never made a move on, or that coworker you always had a little thing for, or maybe a story that puts you in bed with someone who's telling you exactly what they'd like to do to you.
They release new content every week, so there's always more to explore, no matter who you're into or what turns you on.
And if you need to wind down, Dipsy also has wellness sessions, sensual bedtime stories, and soundscapes to help you relax before you drift off.
For listeners of the show, Dipsy is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/creepy.
That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/creepy. dipsystories.com/creepy. For nearly half a year after her husband's death, Hannah was only seen at night, dressed in widow's black, sometimes standing in the swamp behind her house. Even though the general consensus was that she killed her husband, rumors of her powers made the authorities too afraid to arrest her.
Well, that's right there. Just playing the game.
Yeah. I
Smart.
mean, that's a lot of power. When you're like, I honestly didn't even do anything, but everyone is so terrified of me that they won't come talk to me. My dream. If like people are so terrified of me, they don't come to my house and want things.
Yeah, you don't get hassled. It'd be
No.
great.
Don't
It's
have anybody
awesome.
stopping by asking to borrow stuff or looking for, I don't know what they looked for, but back then, did they have sugar? I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, well, I don't know. That's a great
when,
question.
I don't
Someone's
know
gonna be
when
like,
things got
actually,
discovered.
that's right. Or where things were grown. Connecticut, they had, what did they put in their tea? Probably nothing. Ugh.
I don't know. There's a lot of snow up there. Maybe they just melted
Just mix it in.
snow. I don't know what they did.
But yeah, I mean, you don't want people coming and knocking on your door and bugging you. Especially, she needs a couple months to,
She's
mourn.
grieving.
Yeah.
Yes.
So leave her alone.
And the tradition was when you were a widow to dress all in black, I guess until forever. I don't know if there was a time limit on it, but I read that, it was long black dresses and, black cloaks and stuff. So one might, draw the conclusion that if there's this old woman that lives up on the hill and she's dressed in all black standing out in her swamp and, that
That's the part I have a question about.
that they're like old Hannah Cranna up there and she's like, I'm just grieving and this was the captain and I's spot in the swamp. This is where we used to come and stand together every morning. Let me be. Poor Hannah.
Some people go to Lover's Lane. Hannah Cranna and the captain went to the swamp. Oh my god. Yeah, that's why I was wondering if that's some kind of widow's ritual, but that makes way more sense.
I don't know. Maybe she was frogging or clamming. Don't they have clams there?
Just grief clamming. You got to. It's the only way to get through it. You got to get through it some
We
way.
all grieve in our own ways, and if you need a mollusk to help you move on, then that is your business. I'm not going to question you. We're going to get so many DMs from, I don't know what people from Connecticut call themselves. Connecticuters. And let me just say, I got nothing but love for being in Connecticut. So
I want to go. I've always wanted to go.
I've never been
to Connecticut. I've always wanted to go to anywhere in the New England area. I mean, I've been to Boston.
I've been to Boston and Maine. Did you attend Harvard?
I went to Harvard. I had a hamburger at the restaurant across the street. That's as close as I got. I did go to the bathroom in a building there. I recently went to Stanford. Also went to the bathroom in the bookstore.
You know what? Hit up the Ivy League bathrooms. Are they better than state schools?
Okay, me in the Stanford bookstore bathroom, there's an incident that,
no.
So if I may briefly. So I went to the bathroom and a line had formed and it was one giant stall. So it was a relatively small bathroom. It was a mega stall. So it's good because, if you needed extra room, extra access, plus there was a baby changing table. So a woman was waiting in the corner on her phone. I don't know I thought she was waiting to go to the bathroom, but when the stall freed up, she let me go. So I walked in and was waiting. And another lady walks in after me. Again, it's one long wall. So half of it's a door, half of it's a wall. It takes up the whole bathroom. Mm-hmm. It's not that big. And we're standing there and the lady leans down and looks under. And so she sees a pair of feet.
Oh, gosh.
And she goes across over to the wall and she just starts pushing on the wall.
No, she thought it was another stall.
She's pushing on it and she's looking around and she's pushing and she's like, I don't think this door opens. And I said, oh yeah, that's a wall. And she goes, how did you know? And I said, there's no handle and also just like two connectors on each side. And she's like, oh, okay. And because before that I had this kind of chip on my shoulder of like, man, all these kids out here playing their beanbag game, they're all smarter than me. And then I was in there and I was like, nope.
Oh, this was a Stanford student.
I mean, she looked as if she could have been. I don't know.
Wow.
But then again, so could I have. So possibly she was an interloper like myself. But just watching her push on that door, I thought, well, I might could have gone in here. I don't know. I never tried.
It reminds me of the Far Side cartoon, Gary Larson Far Side, where it says Midvale School for the Gifted, and the guy on the door it says pull, and he's just pushing on it real hard.
It goes both ways.
Favorite. Yeah.
The door goes both ways.
It's one of my favorites. Well, all that to be said, if you are from Connecticut, we love you.
For sure. Always.
Yeah. Oh, I have been to Boston and Maine, but it was only for like a half a day each, and I'm dying to go back.
We got to do a full New England tour.
Yes, for sure. Very much trying to go to like a Stephen King, Maine road trip type of thing. After the captain's passing, Hannah was very poor and relied on the bounty of her garden and the stream behind her house to feed her. When the land didn't provide, she often turned to her neighbors for items such as food and firewood. Hannah knew of her witchy reputation and often used it to her advantage. If a neighbor refused to help, Hannah would threaten to curse them. As one story goes, Hannah was out walking one day when she saw some delicious pumpkin pies cooling on a neighbor's windowsill. She asked the woman if she could have one. Feeling sorry for the widow, the woman obliged, but gave Hannah the smallest pie she had. Unsatisfied, Hannah asked for a larger one. When the woman refused, Hannah cursed the baker, and the woman never baked a tasty pie again.
Dang, at least give her the medium-sized one.
Damn, this is how I would use my powers. Strictly
bigger pie.
food related. If people, yes, if I don't get the biggest piece of pizza or, like the best looking piece of pie, boom, you're done. You're done.
They know better now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't know. Just give her the medium-sized pie.
Give her the medium-sized pie. Give her the largest pie.
Yeah, who cares?
You know what? Then she puts a spell on you to where you bake like the best pies in the village.
So she can have
All of a
them.
sudden, you're bringing in all the dough
Okay.
for the pie, and now you're the pie woman of Monroe.
Done
And
done.
then we get to do an episode on you, the pie woman of Monroe.
Not anymore, though, because it's very short-sighted. A lot of the folks in this story, I find, they want a momentary, either a jab or a laugh, and then look at you now.
Look what
you've done.
Yeah. Where are you now? You don't have an episode. You're not in the history books.
Nope.
You don't even have it. You're just the pie woman.
Hope your pie was worth it.
You don't even have a name. Another instance involved a negligent neighbor who let his cows trample Hannah's garden. Rather than apologize, the man responded to Hannah with
Jeering laughter.
In response, Hannah told him,
"My curse upon you and my curse upon your crop."
Thinking nothing of this angry older woman, the farmer went home and headed to bed. When he woke the next morning, every single potato in his field had been struck with the terrible blight. Seeing the reach of her power, he went to apologize. The next year, when he planted corn instead of potatoes, Hannah informed him that the crop would flourish, telling him,
"Always remember that as others do to me, even so do I to them. Good for good and evil for evil."
And it said in the newspaper that he went out and checked his crop and it was lush AF.
Well, there you go.
It's not the words they used in the 1901 newspaper article I read.
They didn't?
No,
They
they
should've.
were like, that crop was lit, yo. I don't even think people say that anymore.
Lit? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been on TikTok in a while, so I'm really down on my youth lingo right now.
Oh my goodness. Last time I went down a rabbit hole of high school bathroom TikTok.
You sent me some of those, and
I was
I
sending them
was
to you.
appalled.
Well, there's a lot of this whole whatever challenges going on of the Texas Lawyers Facebook group was a flutter the other day because apparently they said the October challenge was slap a staff member, faculty member challenge, which is in Texas, it's a felony because it's assault on a public servant. So it automatically is a felony. And so there was all this argument about whether it should or shouldn't be a felony. I mean, I think it is. Don't slap your teacher. Win-win for everyone. Just don't do it.
I think in fact, I know we've got some high school listeners and even
Yes.
younger. Let's just talk to them for a second. Hey, guys, if you're listening, we hope that maybe you respect what we have to say as your elders. Don't participate in these
No.
challenges. Don't go slap your teachers. Don't deface your school property. When you get to be older, you're going to look back and think, man, I was an asshole. Because speaking as somebody who was a huge asshole in high school, like, you're going to look back and say, I never slapped a teacher and I did not deface property. I was more just shitty to, my parents and stuff.
You're so rebellious.
Yeah, I was very rebellious. Yeah. But, kids, just be cool. Everybody be cool.
Just be cool. Paris tells me stories. He was like a cool, wild teen in high school, and he'll tell me stories, and I'm like, "You did what?" He goes, "Well, what did you do?" I was like, "Oh, I'll watch late night TV land shows.
Watch Dick Van Dyke.
Watch Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Oh man, I missed out. But I did see where they defaced the bathroom property. Whatever it was, this last month's challenge where you were just literally supposed to just yank a toilet out of the wall, apparently, or yank soap dispensers off the wall. And they said a young man in Texas had slipped on the soap and broken his foot, and it took him out for his whole football season. It was his senior football season, which sucks because that's, you maybe get a scholarship or whatever. And it
Was he the one that broke it, or he just
he was a victim. He was trying to go take a leak. Mm-hmm.
Damn, that
Unintended
sucks.
consequences. Yeah. So stuff
Here's
like that.
a legal question.
Yeah, what's up?
If he found out who did that, could you sue them?
Assuming it was a minor, it probably would be. You probably want to sue their parents. A lot of times homeowners insurance will cover for the torts of minors.
Because if it did say affect, I mean, even if it didn't affect his scholarship or anything, it affected his livelihood for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go work, whatever job you have is presuming you're probably on your feet. So,
or just have a good rest
Pain
of
and
your
suffering?
high school year. Yeah,
pain
for
and
sure.
suffering, medical bills. I think so. I think you could sue the parents as, because they're in charge of the kid. And that's really negligence because the kid was fucking around pouring soap everywhere. And his actions are approximate cause of that guy's broken foot. So
there you go. Another reason to just be cool. Don't drag your parents into this shit.
I cannot, with the list that was circulating of the possible future challenges, I sent it to you and it said January was jab abreast. And
yeah,
I
not
have
cool.
to assume jab is punch, which is not cool. But jab to me sounds like a stab. That's horrifying. Don't do that either. Don't do anything to anybody's tits except your own.
No, or unless somebody asks you to. Yeah, jab to me means like it's a quick punch, like a jab in boxing.
Oh.
Like, yeah, it would hurt. I mean, any way you slice it, it's assault. So,
yeah, don't do that.
Don't do any of that stuff. Just freaking be cool.
Let's turn into a PSA. It's like, hey, kids, it's your aunts, Christy and Heather.
It's your cool aunts. I also want to know who comes up with these lists.
Well, and also I wonder, because you remember when we were, younger, the news would say, teens are worshiping the devil, and we weren't. We were listening to rock and roll music. And so I say we called it rock and roll back then.
We're 63.
We were listening to John Mellencamp. But for real, so I wonder too if those lists that are circulating is truly what the teens are saying. Like, was 21 Jump Street involved? Like, they had to, who got the hot
or
deets?
It's like the Tide Pod challenge. Like, wasn't that all just like
panic?
Nothing, and it was panic, and parents thought kids were doing this, but they weren't really doing it.
The bathroom destruction was real, though. I saw it on TikTok firsthand, and then also like the news, and they reported it and stuff like that. So that's hopefully slap a teacher is not going to happen because
your ass is getting expelled.
Dude, dunzo
for sure. Well, the potato incident created even more hype around Hannah and her powers. According to a 1901 article in the Newtown Bee, Hannah Cranna was described as a
weird, uncanny creature
whose powers of witchcraft were
known by all and feared by many.
The newspaper published stories of her fantastic powers that were from
people of undoubted integrity and credibility, with facts either actually seen or thoroughly understood
by the newspaper staff.
Yeah, they really try to put a lot in there of like, we saw this.
A weird, uncanny creature. I think she sounds delightful.
Oh, she sounds
somebody
great.
I'd like to be friends with. Yeah.
To me, if someone said I was a weird, uncanny creature, I'd be like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So nice. And yes, you're right.
Yes.
One such account was about two farmers, Theodore Beach and Isaac Nichols, who challenged Hannah one day as they passed by her home with a wagon full of hay being pulled by oxen. Seeing her in her garden, the men shouted,
"Hello, old witch! Can you give us an exhibition of thy boasted power?"
The news reported that Hannah had been angered
by the tone more than the words,
and responded in kind.
"Before you pass yonder tree, you shall have evidence of that which you so ironically ask," she told them, pointing to a tree down a path. As the men laughed her off, they attempted to drive away, but found themselves stuck. Once they finally got moving again, the wagon tumped over, spilling hay everywhere and causing the oxen to run off in fright, dragging the men behind them. Fucking got him.
I'll tell you what, I relate so hard to the by the tone more than the words. Ooh, I felt that in my soul.
You know. Also, first of all, they said, "Hey, old witch." That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So that
don't
that
address
is rude.
Someone like that.
But the tone that he said, "Thy boasted power," like, prove it. And his ass got literally dragged. He was actually dragged.
Yes. Yes.
Also, I appreciate that in my notes, I wrote that the wagon tumped over and you left that. Thank you.
I thought about it. I thought about changing it. And then I thought, you know what? I used the word tumped recently. So
All the time I do.
I feel like it's a legitimate word. I'm sure a lot of people that are not from the South are going to be like, what the hell does tumped mean? It means when your wagon tumps over and all the hay
shit falls
spills
out.
everywhere.
That is what it is. It's literally like a wagon tumped over.
Yeah.
Because Paris
Or
had a
your
discussion.
bag tumps over.
Because,
or you get tumped out of a chair.
Yes. Oh, I've tumped out of a chair. But we had a discussion because, like, it's not the same as flipped. Because to me, if the wagon flips, then it would be the top of the wagon on the ground, wheels in the air. Tumped is the wagon is on its side.
It's
and
just
shit
like
spills
falls
out.
over. Yeah.
Yes, it falls
just
over.
tumps over.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. Sometimes Ella's like, what does tump mean? And I'm like, it just means something tumped over. What's tump? I'm like, it just tumped. Like sometimes a word is a word and you can't explain it any more than that.
It sounds like what it is.
Yeah, exactly. What is that? An onomatopoeia?
I think that's right. Like bang.
Yeah. Yes, or pow, or tumped.
Don't you like that I said, I just go bang? It's my first one. And I'm not talking about the gun kind of bang.
Mm-mm. Well, still not everyone was convinced of Hannah's powers, with some townspeople calling them
cunning trickery and pseudo-sorcery.
Everyone in sight was soon convinced, though, when after a prolonged drought decimated their crops, the town asked Hannah for her help. She told the townspeople that, frankly, they didn't deserve rain. But, feeling sorry for them, she made it rain anyway, thus proving her power to them once and for all.
It's so fucking satisfying for everyone to call you a witch. Everyone's an asshole to you. They're mean to you. You try to go down to the market or whatever, and they all whisper behind your back, behind your cloak. They see you on the mountaintop, and they freaking point at you, and they come scream and call you an old witch, and then all their shit dies. And who do they turn to?
Mm-hmm.
The witch. They come up there, they beg for her help, and you know what? She could have told them to fuck off and let them all starve because they jacked her with the tiny pie. She did not hold a pie grudge. You know what? Well, she did. She cursed that lady, but she didn't let that. You know what? She made it rain, and
She did. She literally made it rain.
But
yes, she literally dragged somebody, and she literally made it rain.
Yes.
Hannah Cranna was way ahead of her time.
She was the head. She's the head bitch of all this. Like she came up with all this.
Her DNA came back. She's 100% that witch.
She is
absolutely.
I also, as a very, we've said it before. I'm extremely petty, and I hold really hard grudges for a long time that I should let go of, and I just won't ever. I don't care. But I love that they came up and said, "Will you please make it rain?" And she has to not just go, "Okay." She's like, "You don't fucking deserve rain, but okay. I want you to know that this rain is a gift. It's not. This is not something that you're owed. This is superfluous. I am providing this to you above and beyond." And I like to just twist the knife a little bit, and I relate to this part highly.
Would you have made it rain for them?
Like, probably not for several days. She did it like the next day. I would have probably made him wait for it and been like, I need at least 4 more people to come up here and ask me very nicely.
Yes. Because your love language is words of affirmation.
True.
So I imagine even in colonial times, you would have been like, I need you to compliment my head to toe black dress and my white bonnet before I even think about making it rain for anybody.
I think I'm going to go head to toe black dress and black bonnet. I'm going all out.
You're going all black? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe with like a net over the face.
Well, I would have been a witch, so I would have just been riding around on a broomstick with rags or something. Yeah. Yeah, I would have totally leaned in.
You're the
Come
actual
at me.
witch.
I dare you to hang me.
That's right.
Not
You're
happening.
the actual witch. I would be the one that's on the crag that just has such a sully disposition that people are like, she's probably a witch. And I'm like, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Give me your pie.
Yes. See, you got the best of both worlds because people fear you, but you're just like, you don't have that on your conscience. You know,
true.
You don't have the burden of all that. Yeah. We would have still been friends though.
100%. Yeah.
Witchy deeds together.
A witch gang. It's 16 or 1800s witch gang.
It's called a coven, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. See? Mean bitch on the hill. I need you to teach me. Thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
And then it's like a motorcycle gang. So you have a black leather jacket and it says witch gang. And then underneath it says known by all and feared by many.
I love it. God,
or the witch gang is called Weird Uncanny Creatures. And then that's
here's
the tagline.
Here's our newest t-shirt right here.
Known by all, feared by many. Sinisterhood will be right back. Have you ever had an acne breakout come at the worst possible time? I know I have when we recently went on tour and I got a big giant pimple on my chin.
Yep. We've all been there. We've all struggled with our skin, and that's why we are excited to partner with Apostrophe, the sponsor of this episode.
Apostrophe is a prescription skincare company that offers science-backed oral and topical medications that are clinically proven to help clear acne.
Apostrophe connects you with a board-certified dermatologist who will create a personalized treatment plan that is perfectly tailored to your unique skin.
Simply fill out Apostrophe's online quiz about your skin goals and medical history. Then snap a few selfies and your dermatologist will create your customized treatment plan.
Apostrophe treats acne, and they can also help you hit other skincare goals like reducing redness, wrinkles, and even dark spots.
We have a special deal for our audience. Save $15 off your first visit with an Apostrophe provider at apostrophe.com/creepy when you use our code CREEPY. This code is only available to our listeners.
To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/creepy and click Begin Visit. Then use our code CREEPY at sign up, and you'll get your first visit for only $5.
That's apostrophe.com/creepy and use that code CREEPY to get your dermatologist crafted treatment plan for $5. And we thank Apostrophe for sponsoring the show. By now, pretty much everyone has heard of CBD, and if there's ever a time to get started with CBD, it's now.
What both scientists and those who use CBD regularly know is that it helps with daily stresses, but you have to use a quality product to get quality results.
Charlotte's Web hemp extracts are tested 20 plus times from seed to final product. Unlike many companies, Charlotte's Web has their own proprietary hemp genetics, so the end products are consistent, meaning you know what to expect from each bottle.
And they're a mission-driven B Corp, which just means that they promise to help the planet and humanity and all that good stuff. Had to bust out the CBD chews for my senior dogs earlier because Biddy was... he's getting older. He's getting up there. He was real dirty, so I had to give him a bath, which kind of makes him nervous. And so afterwards, he was a little bit nervous. And as a reward for being such a brave boy in the bath and to help relieve his stress a bit, gave him a CBD chew, chewed it right up, laid down, was great.
I've never wanted to eat a dog treat, but the way that my dogs react to the dog treats, it makes me wonder what's in them because the goose will just start to bark at me and stand in front of the cabinet, which means she wants one. And as soon as I pull it out, Buffy sits so good because she's well trained. The goose is a monster. But Buffy she's a little bit older now. I've had her almost 7 years and she was about 3 when I got her. So she's getting up there and her shoulder was being weird the other day. I think she just chased a squirrel too hard. But I got the hip and joint chews for dogs and I gave some to her, and she's back to chasing squirrels now. So
that's all that matters. Get her back to chasing those squirrels.
That's her dream come true. Go to charlottesweb.com to get started with the OG CBD brand who kicked off this whole CBD craze, and use code CREEPY at checkout to save 15% on your order. This code works on all CBD products besides bulk bundles.
That's charlottesweb.com. Use code CREEPY to save 15% on your order.
You know the feeling when you stumble on a piece of clothing that's just so perfect for you?
That you didn't even know you needed, but now you could never live without? That is how you feel when using the new Stitch Fix Freestyle, a shop built just for you.
Stitch Fix Freestyle is your trusted style destination where you can discover and instantly buy curated items based on your style, likes, and lifestyle.
Whether you're looking for a brand you love or to try a new one, at Stitch Fix Freestyle, you can shop over 1,000 brands and styles personalized to your size and fit.
With styles for workouts to workwear, for lounging around the house, or for a night out on the town, Stitch Fix Freestyle has clothes for any occasion.
Plus, there's no subscription required, and they offer free shipping, returns, and exchanges. I have been using Stitch Fix for quite some time, and this new Freestyle program is awesome. I've used it several times. It's based on things that you've ordered in the past, what you fill out on your style quiz, and then it literally curates an entire shop that it thinks of things you'll like. Bags, shoes, tops, pants. I think I ordered like 3 shirts the other day, and I love them all. Yeah,
knowing
it's
that
awesome.
we dress alike. First of all, I just want to log into your Stitch Fix, but you got me on the Stitch Fix. You've actually given me products from Stitch Fix that you thought I would like. But since you loved it so much, I signed up as well. And I love how, it's starting to pick things for me because I filled out the profile and I've started making selections on my style inspiration board. So you can join both of us on Stitch Fix. Get started today by filling out your style quiz at stitchfix.com/creepy.
That's stitchfix.com/creepy to try Stitch Fix Freestyle. stitchfix.com/creepy. Throughout her years, Hannah rarely left her home, preferring the company of her cat, Grimalkin, and her enormous Shanghai rooster, Old Boreas. She was also surrounded by her bodyguards, several snakes in various breeds and sizes that she kept in her cellar. Though she may have had aggressive run-ins with her human neighbors, Hannah was known as a friend to the animals, particularly the squirrels and birds who lived near her home. When even the most expert hunters dared to come stalk wildlife near her house, they found that every single shot they fired would miss, leading the paper to report,
"No bird or animal can be found killed or in any way harmed,"
in the area surrounding Hannah's house.
This is the part that I was researching when I texted you and told you that there were like 8 crows outside my window and like 7 squirrels. And normally they're in the backyard, but they happen to be right outside my office window. And I just feel like Hannah Cranna was
You're Hannah Cranna. She was there. I told you how my new thing I'm doing is befriending crows.
Yes, you sent the Google results when you were saying how to befriend crows.
I Googled how to do it. I've figured it all out. I'm waiting on some things to arrive, but
you ordered products.
What?
You ordered products
Yeah,
to lure crows to your home.
I want to give them what they want. Apparently, they can be very picky eaters, and you also you're supposed to feed them like healthy stuff. Although they also apparently like dog food, dry dog food. So I'm gonna try that. But you have to like try different things out to see what they like.
Yeah, you wanna draw them in without harming them.
Yes, and it's. I am giving a gift to them. I am not expecting a gift in return. If they happen to leave a gift for me and we form a relationship, and I write a children's book called Christy and the Crow, then that is the perfect ending to this story. But Ella and I are trying to befriend some crows, and I think this is a perfect time of year to do so because they're everywhere.
It's a mother-daughter bonding, and then maybe 5 to 10 years you're going to be the lady on Home Alone 2.
I would love
with
it.
crows, not pigeons.
As the years passed, her beloved Old Boreas died, followed shortly thereafter by Grimalkin. Townspeople believed Old Boreas had been Hannah's familiar, an animal guide who helps witches with their magic, according to the New England Historical Society. Having lost Old Boreas, Hannah took it as a sign that she too would soon be leaving this world. She told a neighbor she was going to die soon, and gave them instructions for how she wanted her burial carried out. The plans were simple.
Bury me after sunset. Have a sufficient number of bearers to carry me in my coffin from my house to the grave. Do not attempt to take me in any kind of vehicle, but see you to it that it is done in the manner I have named.
She finished the instructions with a warning.
Obey my wishes strictly if you would avoid trouble and vexation of spirit. For remember, even after I am no more, there will be that which I shall leave behind that will see that my wishes in this matter are respected and fulfilled.
You got to threaten them even in the afterlife.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? It's the question everyone asks when they're met with their final destination. Abject terror and respect. That's what we all want.
And she just said, in more words, fuck around and find out. I mean, that's what she said. She just said, obey my wishes strictly if you would avoid trouble and vexation of spirit is an 1800s way to say fuck around and find out.
Absolutely.
I have given you instructions, fuck around and find out. They about to find out.
Mm-hmm. Not long after, in the winter of 1859, Hannah died, or as the paper reported,
disappeared from this earth.
Her body was found in the snow outside her front door. Rather than respect her wishes, though, the townsfolks decided to move her body via ox-drawn sled to her grave, and rather than wait until sunset, they headed out at 2 p.m. Throughout the journey to her gravesite, the coffin flew off several times, in some instances defying gravity and flying back up the hill toward her house. Even chains broke off with the coffin, making its way off the sled time and again.
Yeah, they said at first it just kind of tumped off the sled.
Mm-hmm.
But then they said they were like, we're losing it. This is wild.
It was full on coffin flop.
It was coffin flop. This was full live coffin flop. Her naked blue butt fell right out of the coffin.
That might be the hardest I've ever laughed at a sketch in my life.
If you haven't seen I Think You Should Leave season 2. on Netflix.
Coffin Flop, I thought I was going to wake up the kids. I was taken by such surprise, and not since, well, Coffin Flop, and then most recently when I watched Malignant. Those 2 times I nearly choked to death from coughing so hard. Both of these. Also, if you haven't watched Malignant, buckle up.
Yeah, get ready. You got full attention. If it were in theaters, I'd go see it. They need to do like a screening where we can dress up like the characters and do like
God,
call and response to the screen or something.
We're talking about doing a mystery science theater type thing of Malignant on our Patreon. So we might do like a Twitch stream and do that because, oh my God, it's too good not to.
Yeah. We talk about Malignant well after we've watched it.
I think about it at least once a day.
Oh, yeah. No, it pops into my mind in various ways, in various manners. But yeah, Coffin Flop, man, this was a Hannah Cranna Coffin Flop where she, shot up the mountainside.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And but what did we say? They found out.
Yeah, they found out. They fucked around, so they found out. It wasn't until they finally took her coffin home, let it remain until just before sunset, then took it down to her grave by hand, that they were able to transport her successfully. Later that night, the townspeople looked upon the hill to see Hannah's house engulfed in flames. Finding no footprints leading up to the burned structure, they concluded it was Hannah herself, who somehow lit the fire from beyond the grave.
Come on. This is awesome.
Lighting the fire from beyond the grave sounds like an Indigo Girls song. I love it. I am here for it. It's so good. So yes. Good. Yeah.
Because they were going to pillage her shit.
Yes. She's like, y'all want to see what I was up to. Well, guess what? You nosy motherfuckers. Burn.
Ain't going to see shit. You can get you a fistful of ashes and go stand in the cloven hoof.
Go stand in my swamp.
They do need to stand in the swamp for the grief clams.
They do. Yeah,
well, they're going to handle the death
of her, yes. I like to think that is now a Connecticut ritual.
It's a tradition.
Where upon losing a loved one, you find the nearest swamp and you stand amidst the clams and just grieve until you feel a little bit better. If that's not one yet, can the Connecticuters, whatever you guys call yourself, can we do this, please?
I would love it if you stand in the swamp and when the clam approaches you, that's when you know you're ready to move on. And you open it up. Yeah.
How beautiful. It opens itself up just like you should open yourself up to moving on.
Exactly.
God, nature is so healing. This is what they mean by that. Yes.
It's truly magical place.
Look around you. Everything you need is right in front of you. Well, the fear of Hannah and her powers was such that no villager would
venture after nightfall on the unused road leading past her home.
Even long after she was gone. Her body remains in its final resting place in Gregory's Four Corners Burial Ground on Spring Hill Road in Trumbull, Connecticut, for those wishing to pay their respects. Tread carefully, though. According to the New England Historical Society and Connecticut Post, near her grave, visitors have reported hearing haunting whispers and devilish laughter. An ethereal image of a woman is said to often appear in the middle of Spring Hill Road, causing divers to swerve, lose control of their car, and fatally crash head-on into Hannah's gravestone, proving that even from beyond the grave, the curse of Hannah Cranna holds strong.
This woman.
She's, I mean, if she is making people swerve and crash into her gravestone, they must be descendants of the pie woman. That's,
the guys yelling old witch.
Yes, yeah. So check your family, your ancestry.com and see what you got going on there because you might not want to go on old Spring Hill Road.
Stay away because she's a grudge holder. I feel it in my bones. I'd hold a grudge for 350 years, however long it's been.
Yeah. If I did not get the pie I wanted till on my deathbed, you're not getting an apology. Nah.
Well beyond. Well, wasn't that someone we were talking about that on the show where you said, what would you do if you're a ghost? And I said, I'd go back and irritate the people that wronged me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Yeah.
I think I said I would, or somebody asked on a Patreon Q&A, what would you do? Who would you haunt? And you said people that wronged me. I said Beyonce or like a celebrity. Like I want to see I want to go hang out. Yes.
And do helpful things for the celebrity.
Yeah, just like, but if she's looking for like, her purse or something, all of a sudden there it is, Beyonce. There's your Louis bag right there.
Got your
Yeah.
back.
Yes, always. I've always got Beyonce's back. Well, so what do we think?
Well, I think you put it pretty clearly when you were saying, women in the 1800s, if they did not succumb to society's expectations, that they were labeled a witch.
Mm-hmm. Did I say that at the beginning, or did I say that before we started recording?
I think you said that off the air. We were talking about that off the air. So I think you nailed it. But also, I mean, how do you explain the potato blight? I mean, maybe she went and dumped a bunch of stuff and poisoned all of his potatoes.
Or it's just luck of the draw. I mean,
or it just happened to be.
Yeah.
Or how she made it rain.
The book, the Jerks, Speaking Ill of the Dead, Jerks in Connecticut History, which, what a title, Ray Bandisi. Mad props to you. Yeah. But he said a lot in that book. He was, could chalk most things up to just a broken clock's right at least 2 times a day. Like, maybe she just lucked out and it happened to rain and the crops were plentiful then. But you know what? I think you can hold 2 truths at the same time, and maybe she was also a witch.
Well, and she truly did have some type of power, because the stingy pie baker, when she said, "You're never going to make another good pie again," that the power that Hannah Cranna held was to get in her head. And then she fucked every pie up subsequent to that day. And so she learned a valuable lesson to that day. Again, fucking around and finding out. Just give her the big pie. So she truly did have great power. Coffin flop, that's a great, I don't know how she managed that, to shoot the coffin back. Magnets?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, like
powers.
we said, history's not what happened. It's what people write about what happened. But I think if you want to be a witch and you're a witch in your heart, then you're a witch. And if she wasn't before, and then the townspeople were like, "Hey, old witch," she's like, "All right, well, now you guys have asked for it. So here you go. No more potatoes, no more pies, and I'm burning my house down so you guys can't rummage through my stuff."
I think you see how powerful labels are, especially if you want to give one to yourself, because she says, "I am a witch, and I will, what happens to me will happen to you. So good for good, evil for evil." And she put that out there, and you know what? Those boys that jumped over and got drug in their wagon learned a lesson real quick. So
they did.
I think that she did have some type of power. Was it supernatural? Possibly, but I think she definitely at least had power of personality and was able to control, if not the weather or fire from beyond the grave, at the very least control the people around her, to have them come and beg her for mercy and beg her for rain. They believed it. And if known by all, feared by many, come on now. That's
the greatest power of all.
Yeah, none better.
Yeah. Well, next time we're in Connecticut, or the first time we're in Connecticut, we'll have to go visit her grave. And then we'll pay our own respects by finding the nearest swamp and waiting for our clam to come to us.
Exactly. We have to grieve her, and we got to wear our cool witch gang jackets.
Oh, for sure. We definitely are going to get those made. Yeah. You've been saying you want a jean jacket, a denim jacket. We get a denim jacket. We turn it into our witch gang jacket.
Done and done.
Perfect. Nice. Well, we have a lot of live shows that we can wear these jackets to coming up.
So exciting. We said earlier we're coming to Denver and Salt Lake City. Denver's October 13th at Comedy Works downtown Denver. Salt Lake City, we're going to be at Wise Guys Comedy October 14th at Jordan Landing. And so those are going to be super fun shows. We got, like we said, at every tour stop, there is a local legend or creepy topic that's something near you. So it'll be familiar to y'all. And in some of these cases, we're able to go and visit the things we're covering. And this is no exception, at least for one of these. So we'll love to see you guys there. We're also going to do a little Texas tour at the end of the month. We have San Antonio, October 26th, Dallas, October 27th, which is sold out. But the good news is we've added a second date in Dallas. So if you missed out on your Dallas tickets, you can still get some for November 2nd. It has yet to sell out, but getting close.
I looked last night. A lot of the VIP things are sold out. So get your tickets now.
Get them now. And then also the Houston show is October 28th, which is my birthday. So just if you're in the Houston area or driving distance, come on down. We're going to have a birthday bash for me.
We're going to have so much fun.
It's going to be super fun. So go to sinisterhood.com/live shows and come see us.
And you have an improv show.
I do. Friday,
October 8th, right?
Yes, Friday, October 8th. If you want to come to Dallas Comedy Club, I will be guesting in Hot Dish, which is they have a monologist, a kind of a stand-up comedian will come out and tell you a fun story. It's going to be Ellen Fultz. She's very funny, and she'll tell a true story. And then we as improvisers, me and some of my absolute favorite people to prov with. Unfortunately, you're not going to be in this show, but man, the last time we were together,
it was such a good show.
Dream come true.
So
some of those
fun.
folks are back, and then some new folks. So it's a rotating cast. So I'll be there October 8th, Dallas Comedy Club, and the link should be on our website as well at sinisterhood.com/live shows. Just scroll all the way down to the bottom.
We love providing Sinisterhood to you at no cost. So if you like what you hear, consider supporting the show by donating to our Patreon. We're a small operation, creating the show for you by researching, writing, recording, and producing it ourselves. Any amount is sincerely appreciated and helps offset the cost of making and hosting the show.
As a thank you, you'll also get some sweet perks like ad-free episodes, a Sinisterhood sticker, membership to our exclusive Patreon Facebook group for those in ruling the airwaves and getting into it tiers, a special shout-out on the show, a monthly bonus mini-sode, and patron-exclusive video and audio content, including Am I the Asshole?, relationship advice, Dear Sinister. We're going to have some listener-submitted Am I the Assholes coming up as well. So sometimes we do them off Reddit, but now we're going to do them from some submissions we've had y'all send in. And we've also done some tour behind-the-scenes videos. We have our live streams you can watch, the archive versions of, and then also in the future as well. So we got all kinds of fun stuff.
We just had a super fun live Judge Christie that was...
Oh, so fun.
It was very, very fun, yes. You also now have the fun perk of access to our Discord server, where you can connect with other fans in real time and discuss the latest in true crime, share personal ghost stories, or just post adorable pictures of your pets. We'll also hop on occasionally, and we're hosting monthly Q&As where you can ask us all your burning questions.
For patrons not in the U.S., you now have the option to pay in pounds or euros, saving you the cost of the conversion fee. Annual memberships for all tiers are also now available. When you select this option, you will be rewarded with a free month of membership.
For more details on all of this and specific member tiers, visit Sinisterhood.com and click Patreon on the top banner. And make sure you stick around after our sign-offs to hear your shout-out.
So many of you have been tagging us in pictures of you sporting your sweet Sinisterhood merch, including our BuzzFeed featured Don't Tell Me to Calm Down Racerback tank and the Let's Get Into It tank, which I wore today when I walked the dogs. So keep the pictures of yourselves coming, and if you want to get some cool swag like t-shirts, mugs, totes, and clothes for your kiddos, as well as through the month of October, support the Center for Reproductive Rights. We're going to donate all of our proceeds from our merch sales through October to that lovely organization fighting for reproductive justice, not just for women and people with uteruses in Texas, but for folks who need access to it everywhere. So visit sinisterhood.com, click on shop in the top banner.
And we have our tour shirt too.
Yes.
So get yourself a tour shirt, wear it to one of the shows. If you want us to sign it, we're happy to.
We'll bring a silver Sharpie because it's a black shirt. So we'll sign it for you. And some other people have brought all kinds of fun stuff for us to sign. So we'll do that.
The best thing you can do to help us grow is like, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast. And please tell a friend who you think would like us to check us out. It means so much to us and really helps podcasts like us get more exposure.
You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Sinisterhood Pod. Like us on Facebook at Sinisterhood, and that's where you'll find our 31 Days of Sinisterhood Challenge. Christy, where are you at on the computer?
I am on Instagram at Christy M. Wallace and on Twitter at Christy or GTFO. Heather?
I'm on Twitter at MCK versus the world and on Instagram at Heather versus the world.
As always, the devil rules the airwaves.
Keep it creepy. Hey everybody, thank you so much for supporting the show on Patreon. Here are your special Patreon shoutouts. Sarah,
Patricia Downward,
Chelsea Fiedler,
Sam,
Ainsley McGreevy,
MSR,
Megan,
Hannah,
Kathy Fracas,
Tara Hale,
Hannah,
so many Hannahs. I think it's a sign. Pilar Rogers,
Melanie Page Robinson,
May,
Brittany Terry,
Ash Nozek,
Elizabeth Finn,
Camille Young,
Cassandra Schilling,
Jennifer,
Sarah Breitfielder,
Jules,
Amanda Arnett,
Ashley,
Elisa Brown,
Misty Martinez,
Shelby Grace,
Danielle Brown,
Yuritsa Matos,
Taylor Roden,
Erica Polly,
Kim Reed,
Wendy H.,
Caroline,
Leslie Horn,
Christine File,
Morgan Casey,
Erica Hay,
Sean Herskowitz,
Abel Ray,
Naomi Collins,
Kristen George,
Tracy Wallace,
Daniel Stitch,
Ty,
Tina Chin,
Nicole Mason,
Rachel Reed,
Miranda Clark,
Wendy Pesh,
Carly Knight,
Kristen Santamore,
Lauren Boal-Alice,
Mia Catherine,
Tish Condado,
Fatina Louviere,
Laurel Pike,
Susanna Brimner,
Kate Bennett,
Amanda Schmidt,
Jessica Stein,
Megan Beeman,
Heather Burris,
Roxanne Geyser,
Sherry Jackson,
Ashley Shields,
Amelia Router,
Paige Scott,
Laura Luttrell,
Allie,
Aaron LeSueur,
Sherry McNamara,
Aaron,
Every Bad Wolf WF,
Destiny Head,
Megan Gunter,
Jessica Bradley,
and Neve Bowden. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. We hope we pronounced your names correctly. We sincerely appreciate all your help. We couldn't do this without you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep it creepy.
Sin